So book to film adaptations suck for the most part, right? I think that's something we can all agree on. Often it's due to a financial issue or some weird casting choice, or unfortunately, just the new team's ego. Some writing teams just think they're better than the actual book's author. I'm looking at you, Netflix's The Witcher. I still haven't forgiven you for that. My point is, stories are never as good on TV as they were on the page. But what about the other way around? We never talk about that. I spent grueling hours watching TV trying to find the perfect TV show that could never be a book. So let's talk about Severance. First, this video is spoiler free until the very end, but I'll give you notice, so don't even worry about that. Second, yes, Severance is loosely based on the book Severance by Ling Ma, but if we're being totally honest with ourselves, loosely is an overstatement. It's thematically inspired, right? The story points are actually completely different and the entire plot is completely different. Finally, you may be asking, Gavin, are you bringing books into this topic as an excuse to make a video about a TV show you really enjoyed even though you usually make book videos? Yes, that is exactly what I'm doing. Now, what on earth is Severance? Thanks for asking. Take Black Mirror, The Twilight Zone, The Stanley Parable, and, I need to read this one, the capitalistic emotional manipulation and exploitation of workers, and you get Severance. It's so freaking good! Imagine if you could surgically separate your work life from your personal life. Yeah. Already off the bat with 0 plot points, you have to admit that this premise is insane. I mean, come on, man. Our main character, Mark, works on the severed floor of Lumen Industries alongside 3 other co-workers until one day they're all told that their department chief and friend has left the company. By the way, by no spoilers, I meant that I would talk about stuff you can see in the trailer. From our normal non-dystopian perspective, someone leaving their job is kind of like whatever, but if you really think about it, these people only have memories of when they're at work, so someone leaving the job basically means they're dead to them. And how are you supposed to feel when like your friend and coworker is just dead and you will never see them ever again? Especially when your boss can't or won't tell you what actually happened to them, so you're just left completely in the dark. But the cool thing is, unbeknownst to all of them on the severed floor, the Mark on the outside starts encountering a random stranger who claims to know him from work. We are encountering some plot activities right now. Oh my god. Allow me to reenact Mark's genuine reaction to this situation. Okay, who the fuck are you? That's literally what he said, word for word. I'll overlap it so you can see. This entire show is like rolling a baby stroller up Splash Mountain and then just letting go. It does a really good job of starting slow and giving us a super solid foundation, but then as soon as the first plot twist hits, it keeps snowballing and snowballing and snowballing until they issue a region-wide avalanche warning. Basically, the things that happen in the last few episodes are completely unfathomable in the first few. It just ends up becoming a different show and it's amazing. But all that aside, I want you to think about some of the questions this premise asks. If you're severing your memories, isn't that kind of like cloning yourself? How does the working version of you feel about being essentially eternally locked in the office? And how would you even know? You wouldn't, and that's kind of terrifying. And I think the most interesting question we can ask is, what kind of work are you doing that requires you to be severed from your real life? I guess you could technically read the same book twice and watch the same shows twice, and you get to experience it twice for the first time, which is kind of cool, but probably not the work they're doing. We still don't entirely know even after the first season, but I'm pretty sure all of us are very certain that it's totally messed up. And all of these questions are discussed to some extent throughout the first season, and it's all so fascinating. It just really sticks its fingers under the folds of your brain. If you grew up on The Maze Runner or Divergent or The Giver like me, you cannot tell me this concept is not taking its fingers and, you guessed it, massaging your brain fibers. Don't worry, I'm totally going to talk about how this series couldn't actually be a book, but 50% of this video is just going to be me telling you to please go watch this show. And also, while you're at it, please finish this video first and like and subscribe if you would be willing. Thank you kindly. Now, the question we've all been waiting for, why couldn't Severance be a good book? I got 3 reasons, and they're all pretty obvious, but to be fair, I'm trying to be entertaining. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. The cinematography, the acting, and the music. Those 3 things, which are pretty much impossible to implement into a piece of paper, are essential to the storytelling in this show. For cinematography, they use a dolly zoom shot to represent the characters switching between memories. The shot that I attempted to recreate at the beginning of this video with a stationary camera. Fingers crossed that I figured it out in editing. But that's not it. They show overlapping memories in one camera shot. It's actually crazy. Sometimes the editing in this show feels like a music video. Plus, if you want to see something super cool, check out the opening scene from season 2. Okay, no spoilers. I haven't actually watched season 2 yet, but I came across this while doom scrolling on my phone and I had to watch the entire scene. But look at the way that camera moves. Do you see what I mean when I say cinematography? If you still don't believe me, let's talk about the acting. So you basically get the entire main cast playing 2 characters in the show. Huh? I mean, we got Ben from Parks and Rec not only still being funny in this odd thriller show, but acting out these insanely emotional moments. It is actually, oh, it's so impressive. And look at his shoulders and just how he carries himself in both different memory states. Like, it is crazy. I'm sorry, I cannot stop geeking out about how much I love this show. I'm making all of my friends watch it. Bro goes from traumatized to default settings to traumatized every single day. And all it cost was a brain surgery, emotional distress, and Adam Scott just being a damn good actor. As for the other characters, I love all of them. Carmine Falcone from the Batman is really odd, to be honest, but he also has like cute grandpa energy. Dylan is just, he's just so freaking funny. He's peak entertainment. If you've read Fourth Wing, he's basically the Riddick of this series. Helly, respectfully, Britt Lower is a beautiful woman. And her character is low-key the most reasonable one in the entire show. Like, while you're watching, Helly kind of seems like a crazed lunatic. But when you actually step back and pull away from the show a little bit, you realize that everybody else are the weird ones and she's acting normal. But since it's everybody else, it seems like she's the weird one. Does that make any sense? Super entertaining, super thought-provoking, acting is amazing, Helly rules, period. Miss Casey is unique. Let's just say I don't think she's a robot, but I also wouldn't be surprised. And this lady, oh my god, I give her an award, please. Just trust me, her performance is art. Okay, if you've seen the show, you know what I mean. Speaking of art, actually, we do have to talk about the music, but I need to be a little bit careful in this part. If I play you guys the actual song, there is a very high chance that Apple TV will take all $3 I make on this video. So in the interest of dodging copyright law, I will be recreating the theme song vocally. So enjoy. Do da 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 do. Thank you kindly. It was my greatest performance. It's so bad, dude. Oh my god. That was the official 3D animated intro of the show with a 3D Adam Scott in weird situations, and it was awesome. The director, who we're going to talk about in a moment, said that he found the animator for the intro while doom scrolling on Instagram. He's just like me, for real. So, book writers, I'd like to see you try to recreate a 3D animated intro in your book. I'm not kidding, by the way. I would love you to try to do that. I'm super curious on how you would even conceptually figure out the logistics. I'm just using big words at this point. Just try and then like email me or something. So what else is there to praise? Well, oddly enough, the humor. You wouldn't expect this from a dystopian dark drama thriller series, but it's actually really funny. Ben Stiller is one of the directors and producers on the show, which I wouldn't have expected because, you know, it's Ben Stiller. Why would he direct this? But it's super clear to see how deeply comedy is actually woven into the story. I don't know why so many comedians are transferring over to thriller and horror movies now, but honestly, they do it the best of anybody. I personally hate horror movies, which I know just made 50% of the women here just leave the video. But oddly enough, of the ones that I have seen, the best ones were created by comedians. That being said, I was thinking of Get Out, which is, again, just a thriller, not really a horror. So maybe I just like thrillers and not horror. I don't know, okay? I'm just saying that Zoolander is a freaking awesome director. Has anybody else been noticing how amazing Apple TV shows have been? Severance is amazing, Shrinking is amazing, and Ted Lasso is literally... oh, it's God's gift to Earth. Okay, that show is a full course meal. There's also this sci-fi show called Dark Matter, which is based off one of my friend's favorite books, and I haven't actually watched it or read it yet, but I have heard good things. Like, come on, guys, who's letting Tim cook? I'm so proud of this. You get it? Because Tim Cook is the CEO of Apple. Anyways, if you have not been convinced to watch Severance yet, you are a lost cause, and I am sorry for the way you were raised. I'm a people pleaser, so I super really badly want to apologize, but I won't because I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to double down, actually. You saw... I'm kidding. I'm so sorry. Now, earlier, I did say I would not be talking about spoilers, which is still going to be true if you stop watching this video in 10 seconds. So, go watch the show, check out my live streams on Twitch, and now, for those of you who have seen the show, let's talk about spoilers. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and say, Rebecca, I know you're still watching and you haven't seen Severance. Leave. You are not welcome here. But I'm really hoping someone named Rebecca just got totally freaked out. But the point still stands. If you are still here, you are not welcome. Go watch the show. Don't spoil it for yourself. Now, did you guys see that last episode? Because I saw that last episode and I swear to you, I was on the edge of my seat. I was sitting on the paper thin edge of my chair, and if I had moved any farther forward, I would have been sitting on air before falling and then getting a concussion via my cheeks. Like that. Ben Stiller was like Steve in Minecraft, and all of the characters were the pig he was riding, and the mind-boggling plot twist lore drops was the carrot on a stick. That was the first metaphor I could think of, to be honest. The amount of times I was yelling, I was screaming at Mark to just tell his sister, it was insane. Bro was trying to fail, I swear to you. I was screaming. I was losing my shit. And yeah, I know he was in a new environment and he had no knowledge of this outside world or his relationships to all the people there, but honestly, bro, you should have just locked in, okay? And when he said Miss Cobell while going to find his sister, I'm sorry, this is not a good look for me, but I can't express to you how much I love this show, okay? I made an entire video. Just to talk about this random TV show I watched one day. As for Helly, bro, oh my, that was plot twist of the century. It feels like they're setting her up to be a protagonist and antagonist in the second season, which is such a wild concept. And I'm especially curious about her romance with Mark now that we know who Miss Casey is, which is, you know, another part 2 of the plot twist of the century. The whole Miss Casey thing is, I don't even know where to put my finger. I don't know, man. It's weird. Is it bad for me to want Mark's wife to stay where she was at the beginning of the show? Hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Helly and Mark are super cute. I love them. I wanted them together from the first episode, okay? I don't want old news to be getting in the way there. Like, sure, I know that she was his wife and like they'd been friends for a super long time. There's like there's so many reasons I'm wrong, but hear me out here, okay? What if I am right? You know, that being said, Mark and Helly's outies don't know each other at all, and so I don't like that. That's kind of freaking me out because it's only the innies who are romantic, right? So I'm kind of just like, I'm really lost on how to feel correctly about this situation. I'm just gonna try to not think about that. It's complicated, and I love it, and I hate it, and it makes me cry, and it makes me smile. All of the it does everything for me. But before all of that, we got to see the weird ass waffle party. What was that? Just the single lonely waffle plate in the dark and mysterious bedroom. And then he sat on Kier's bed with a Kier mask on and got essentially a lap dance from a bunch of attractive women who were also wearing weird masks. Just when I think the culty vibes might take a little bit of a break, it gets like even more culty. Who were those dancers? And why is it called a waffle party? I don't understand this show, like, at all. Actually, let's backtrack for a moment. What was with the goats? Don't think I forgot about the goats. Why are there goats? I repeat, what is this show? I mean, this show was so popular that Apple TV put it on Blu-ray. Apple TV put their exclusive show on Blu-ray. They don't do that. They did it with Ted Lasso, but Ted Lasso's art, okay? That's the Mona Lisa. I just need to know if you guys enjoyed this show as much as I did, okay? If you want to talk about it with someone, you can join my Discord server. We have a bunch of stuff. We have TV channels, we have a book club, book channels, server events, all sorts of things, but a lot of people in there who can talk about Severance. But yeah, that's all I have to say. So thank you for watching, and I already did my outro earlier. So, deuces.